everybody, and welcome to the Entrepreneur Spotlight interview series. We've got another great guest for you today. We've got Amero Muiny, who is the founder of Onixx Media. Amero, thank you for finally making it to the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me to your show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we had a couple of, for the audience, we had a couple of missteps in terms of booking. We're both pretty busy guys, and now we finally get a chance to have this chat. So Amero, 10, 11 years ago, you started Onixx Media. I know you've got a fairly big background in tech and IT. Why did you go from a relatively, easy career path, in the IT field to becoming an entrepreneur and starting Onixx Media?
Honestly, I went through the college. I went through the university education process, and I finished with it, and I wanted to find a job. And in Montreal here, you have to be bilingual.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people will understand the hassle of going through the system here, especially in Montreal City. And I couldn't wait until I learned French, because I looked at my situation. I'm like, I'm growing up, and I finished, and then all of the job, like, it's gonna take me a while to find a job that I want and I'm happy with. And I said to myself, you know what? Just put myself out there, and I started to create. The company with a couple of the people, and then went through the journey until I reached here with you today. Like, literally, that was the reason. It's a hustler thing. It's like I put myself out there and just push. So, but
I
other
don't know
than
how
that,
many times.
yeah,
I don't know how many times I hear that story of people who, rather than trying to find a job or find the right job or the perfect job, they go out and create the perfect job. And I love that. That is the one of the core principles of being an entrepreneur. So you start this business.
mm,
Now, I noticed on your LinkedIn, you started with a few gigs, like, the whole gig economy. You had a few. Talk to us about what it was like to try and go and get your first few deals.
yeah, few deals. Well, before I started to get into few deals, like uh, we had to create the brand, because I'm gonna talk about
Mm.
branding later. We had to create the brand. I had to create the front of the business. So when I started my partnership, when I started with a couple of people, and they're amazing people, but we focus on what is the goal of the agency that we want to do, what we want to provide to the client. And then from the network of my other partner, we started to get two projects. And it's an interesting experience, because at the beginning, if you don't have, when I saw with Abdul Masnoum, is like the business coach. I didn't have a business coach at that time. So pricing all of that is just, we're putting ourselves out there. It's like, so we started with a couple of clients. It did good, and they start getting business, and the life comes, the journey comes, and we get to this point. It's all about networking. Once you're done with that, you jump into moving out to yourself out there. At one point, I had to talk to clients. No, I had to talk to people, doing business cards, doing. I wish if I had to go to expos. Okay, expos would have done magic. I've got one expo last week. I didn't know all of these kind of stuff, so I had to do it to the I
Okay,
had
so
to do it.
you talk about a mentor, not a mentor, a partner, but it sounds to me that this person was also a mentor. Is that correct?
Of course, yeah. I had to. It was. I'm not gonna mention any names, but he was a professor in Concordia University, and I needed. I was a young man. Like, I don't know the system in Canada. And all I did is the university, graduated out there, didn't have French. Okay, what can we do? Then I saw the mentor. I had my friend. She was a designer, and we started Onixx, and we went from there.
Okay, so you've got this core group, and you mentioned that you had the presence of mind to create your vision. It sounds like you said, I want to know what we're doing. I want to understand what we stand for. I want to create this brand. A lot of people starting out, they go and their first thing is like, we have to find a product, we have to find a client, and then later they worry about, or they design their brand, they design their why and all that. What made you guys do that first?
Branding is everything. If you want to be successful in the business, and I've seen some of the other leaders and entrepreneurs, how are you going to build up a product or a service if you don't have the value or the brand to be out there? What is your sales pitch? What is your what you do? What is there? All of that in the core is by creating the first thing is the logo. Like you action coach, the logo. Look at like you have it like the same as me. The logo is where you start, is what you create, and it's another person. The logo is like a baby. You start creating a baby, and that baby you have to hold the hand in order for the brand to grow, and then you implement strategy into it. And then how are you going to sell the client or to see what they see if there's not a core value of what they say is the core value of the company? They have to see that. They have to see it. You need to be ordered to sell yourself with the core value of your brand. And then it comes your ability as yourself to deal the conversation, all of that after. I think you agree in this kind of process.
Yeah, no, it's great to hear you say this, and I want everybody watching this to understand we didn't prepare this in advance. Anybody who's been my guest, you can contact them. I don't coach my guests. This is a free form interview. Now, being the product of the product, that's what I'm hearing you say, right? You're
in the product,
right? You practice what you preach. When you were first going out after your first, few big deals, if you could give yourself advice, if you can go back in time and give yourself advice as to, do this differently, Amero. Don't do it like that. Do it like this. What advice would you give yourself?
You really hit the spot. Okay. I'll change a couple. I'll educate myself more.
Yes.
I'll get right away. I'll get a mentor who knows what he's doing, who went through the process, who went through all of it. Like I'm a hustler. Like I hustle. I put myself into the middle of the forest, and I'm a survivor.
You'll find a way out.
Huh?
You'll find a way out.
I will find a way out. That's who I am. I get into so many situations because I get into so many situations, I have to get out. So by having a mentor, by having someone who went through the whole process, you will not only save, you will save time, but you will not hit the mistakes that everyone does. Because when you have a hands-on and a hustler, like with the education that I got on other people, like reading books and everything, you need to put yourself out there. It's not easy. And if you have someone who's giving you the experience, it changed everything. I just hired someone recently this week, and where she is right now, within a week or 1 week and a half, the mindset changed. Everything changed because I started to work on her ability, on her strength, on her. I changed her mindset. It's like, do what you are best. So by having a business coach, I was the business coach to her.
Yeah.
But I dealt with her because if you take care of the team will take care back of you. So I had to take out all of the bad stuff or of the noise around her in order for her to focus on the work that I'm giving her. Magic, like that was magic. By having a business coach, that number one. Number two is put yourself out there. You really have to put yourself out there. But business coach is really different. The mentor, because I did it myself.
Yeah, you mentioned about networking. What are some of the better networking venues that you have experienced over the years?
That's what you remind me. That was the second thing. Expos,
Mm,
networking. You totally hit it. You just remind me of it. That was number two. To put yourself out there and expose, you will get the fastest network and leads like crazy.
yeah.
Even my business coach is like, go put yourself out there, go put yourself out there, and I never did. And by far, it's one of the most like, I regret the decisions not having going into expos, but I've seen the power of it myself last weekend. And right now, the moment any opportunities I can put myself out there, I'll take it. Yeah, go ahead.
It's interesting. I don't know if this is still the case, but I remember reading not that long ago, when they do these rankings of the different types of marketing. And I think trade shows and trade magazines are still very high up there. I know all the digital marketing gets a lot of press, gets a lot of airtime, but I think especially for certain industries, trade shows and industry journals are still very, very good ways of building your business.
Yes, you have to understand. You have to understand. We are after COVID. COVID changed a lot.
Mm,
Where you marketing pre-COVID, it's not the marketing after COVID.
mm,
Marketers had to switch around from physical to online after we went out of COVID. Online became key, but still there are people, and I have that. Sometimes I don't take a client. You know why? Because
mm.
they're all mindset. They
Yeah,
still, because it still works. The trade magazines, all of that, but the trade show is different. Trade show is physical, but
yeah,
the trade magazine is not digital, it's physical.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we have some people with that kind of mindset. They still love paper,
yeah.
like so.
I think there's a perception that if it's in print, it means that you've made it. It means that you're more of a mature business. I
Yes,
mean, I think there's a lot of prejudice in that, but I think for some people, they still have that mindset that if you're in print, that means you're a stable business.
yes, and I start to realize that, and I agree with you. When I started to go, I actually went into a print company and I started printing myself, and it became a reality because I had to print my stuff to the expo. So I totally agree with you. And when you meet face to face, totally different than when you sell it online. And I see the result myself.
Yeah, I agree. And when you're talking about a B2C environment versus a B2B environment,
Yes,
there's a different vibe. I mean, yes, in the B2C world, you can do a lot online. You can build relationship with your clients online because your clients are a mass of people. They're like a sector of people. They're a group of people. But when you're doing B2B and you need to build the trust of the decision maker, there's nothing in my mind, there's nothing that beats the face-to-face, you know,
nothing.
touch.
Yes, always. I also recommend to anybody, any business owners, if you can close your deal face to face the first time, you do everything online, just close the deal face to face. What a huge difference. Like,
Yeah,
I wish if I can
good
do this
point.
soon, I'll be
Yeah,
able to.
that's a good one. I like that one very much. Talk to us a little bit about um, your team. So how many people do you have in your team right now?
Right now, I have around 7 to 8 people. Okay,
Okay.
depends on the projects, depends on what I have, and sometimes I hire people. I only for a few projects, and
Yeah,
then
you push and pull your staff.
I push and pull my staff. It's because of the economy.
Right. Now, okay. So the post-COVID world, right?
Yes.
People being working virtually. And so how is Onixx Media managing that, in person, in the office versus virtual? What's the formula that Onixx Media is using?
Like I take a small to medium businesses that they want to start off on their social media journey, or they don't have a digital print to get them to the next level. We have to start somewhere. When I take a client or I need to see a business, I need to see everything what they're doing, how they're selling, what's their online presence. If they don't have a website, if they do, if they have a LinkedIn page, if they don't, if they do a social media, are they doing it right? And then I grasp all of the information, and then I start to work on their brand and their core. If they don't understand their core and their value, it's never gonna grow. No matter what happened, no matter what happened, if the client itself doesn't believe in himself and his brand, I cannot do nothing. My job is actually as a marketer, and I know not many people are gonna say it this way, but it's to grab the client's hand and like do it right and do it with the way the best practices that the field needs, because we're dealing after COVID, we're dealing with algorithms right now. AI is we are in an AI bubble. Like it's getting there. Everything is switching online. Still, it doesn't beat the physical. Okay, the physical part, we can create campaigns, expos, all of that. It makes a huge difference. But when I see and build up the core and the brand and I push them and we launch, nothing gonna stop it after.
I love the fact that you like you focus on making sure your clients really understand themselves. They understand their value. They understand what their unique selling proposition is, and those things. And if they don't, then you'll work with them to help them figure it out, put a voice around it, put a style around it, all of that.
George, sometimes I have to be Dr. Phil with clients. I swear, really. Sometimes clients, they don't believe in themselves, and they also have the doubt on my strategies are marketing sometimes. I'm like, but let me do my job. Like they don't believe it, but it's there.
I understand. I understand. You know, you've got it on your logo there, igniting your business success. And igniting, you know, is all about starting a flame, starting a fire, getting it going. And I get that that's what you're trying to say with regards to helping your clients to ignite their own flame. So I think that's
if we come back, so not only so I take care if you do the steps and ignite, I take their brand, I see their content, I work on their SEO, I work in their if they're a restaurant or a physical, we work in Google My Business, the user experience, their social media, are they engaging, getting the right audience? It's a huge field. It's a huge field. I've seen many interviews, and it's not easy to grab. There are so many departments. When let me tell you, you want to grow. Let's say you want to grow your channel. Yeah, like we'll talk over here. Okay, you have to work on YouTube. YouTube right now, you're gonna get it. Then you have to build up. You have Facebook. Then you have Instagram. Then you have LinkedIn. Then you have TikTok. If you're not in so many platforms, it's not gonna Google is not even gonna look at you. Like even if you don't, you have to put your videos on the website. The algorithm changed. Right now from Google, you can ask like the best thing to do. Go and ask ChatGPT. It's a free version. I know people will hate. Oh, it's gonna take our job, guys. It's like ChatGPT put it. It's like how I can make my website better. It will tell you. It will show you. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to do that. And so it's a huge field.
Yeah. And like you said, the landscape is always changing. You know, the thing that I try to, you know, not just any good business coach will tell their clients, you know, you have to focus on what you're good at. You have to focus on the thing that you bring the most value to and outsource the rest. Outsource as much as you possibly can to people who are experts in their field. They're passionate about that work because it's changing all the time. You can't be a master of everything. You have to rely on people.
I myself, I cannot keep up with the changes that's going on. Okay. And in order for any business owner to grow or any entrepreneur to grow, I was doing it myself. I was wearing many hats. At one point, you want to take more clients. You have to start delegating. You have to be like, right now, I can go into a business. I can tell them, switch a few stuff. Magic. But implement it. I need my team to implement these kind of small stuff. And So you have to have the right specialist at the right field. And in my company, I have a creative director. He's the UX UI, and he's responsible for the graphic design team. Everything has to go through approval through him before it comes to me. I'm the final guy to see it. I don't want to. I give them the task what the clients want, and then he has to get me with the approval. Okay. I don't have the time to deal. It's not because of that. I don't have the time to deal with the graphic designer, but I have my handwrite person as the creative director. You need to make fast decision in order to grow, because you're dealing yourself at one point as the company, and then you have your team to deal with the clients, to deal with accounting, to deal, if you got the right people and specialists for every department that you have, and you're not delegating well. At one point, once you pay everyone, you start making profit, you achieve financial freedom at this point.
Yeah. And you must have seen this many times in your career, that oftentimes the entrepreneur who doesn't understand that becomes the bottleneck in their own business.
Yes.
They're preventing themselves from growing.
Yes, and and it happened. I went through it myself. I went through it. I was like, the journey. I learned. We don't have time to talk about it too much, but I learned through the process. You put yourself out there. The moment that you want to see and you want to grow, start with someone. It's hard to give up control. Not easy to give up control, but as long as you see someone talented and you like the way that they do with the work, or they like the way that they talk or you communicate with them, take the opportunity. Okay. If not even here in Canada, you wanna go a bit, you can outsource, but start somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, even a virtual assistant. If you can find a virtual assistant that can save you 8 hours a week, that's a whole other day.
Make a huge difference. Yes. Do you know someone? I need virtual assistants right now.
Yeah, it adds up. It adds up, and it just means that you can focus a little bit more on the key things that nobody else in your business can do.
Yeah, well, at the moment, I do meetings, I take care of my clients, I create the task, I count on my team to do it, and I actually hired another person. I told you the recent, she's a content writer and creator. I don't want to deal with, I create strategies, it gets implemented, I get it back, approval, go with the client, we launch. Like, this is the right way to, not my way of doing the best practice in the business to grow. That's the way I see it, from learning from many entrepreneurs and influencers.
Yeah, I mean, you're following the best practice route. I mean, most businesses that want to mature, they need to get to that point where they can have a team that is doing their jobs, and they can rely on their team to execute the strategy.
Yeah, George, I have, like, I don't want to sound negative. Like, they told me don't sound negative the interview, but as long as you do your business to the best practice, we're talking about, let's say, about the website. Do it with the best practice, not because the design is good. I really had a client. My website was giving him SEO keywords and everything. He just didn't like the design. I said to him, do you want it to look pretty, or you want money?
Yeah. It's not a fashion show.
He went with, I terminated the contract. I terminated the contract because I cannot work with someone who's not able to grasp what I'm trying to do. He changed the design of the website, and it crashed the SEO. It's pretty, it's nice, but he just lost all the traffic to make it look nice. So it's not about who you work with, or as long as you do your product the best way with the algorithm of online, it's gonna be great, no matter who you work with, but it needs to be the best practice.
Yeah, and one thing that I just got back from a conference in Vegas, and one of the presenters, they shared with us a piece of information that I hadn't really heard framed quite this way, but they were talking about how there is a growing trend of buyers that want to be able to have their decision like 85% made before they, excuse me, before they engage with a seller. So they want a seller-free experience. So if your website isn't like taking the client through the journey, like all the way, all the steps, so that they can basically self-serve themselves, you're going to potentially miss a lot of clients.
Yeah, a simple, very quick one meeting strategy right now I'll give to everyone. Think about it as a funnel, okay? The audience and everyone is over here. So I'm gonna talk like in terms of the advertisement with Meta right now, okay? Because Meta's algorithm is all about creating the audience and the people that interact with you. So by creating a funnel, you create a reach campaign. You tell the people about who you are. Then you go down on the next funnel. There's going to be, you have to engage. Right now, after you introduce the business, you have to do the content engaging. While all of this are happening, the pixel, we call it the pixel, it's a tracker on the website, is registering all of these engagements on the website. And then you have that, which is cool. That after you do a traffic, and the traffic, you retarget all the people from your funnel, and then we go at the end to create the sale. So when you say 85, it's like they already know because they already went through the journey with the traffic campaign. Boom, you just made the sale.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so I think that it's important for younger entrepreneurs, people who are getting started, to understand these concepts now, because if you wait, 2-3 years to implement these strategies, you're going to miss the boat. I mean, your competitors who are doing it will have a distinct advantage over you. So it's really important when you're starting out to invest in those strategies early.
And believe me, it came from Facebook agents, from a Facebook agent itself in Meta. He told me, one of the agents, he told me a great thing. Don't be afraid of big companies. Big companies, they do the content, they do the advertisement, they just throw money. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah,
small
for
company
sure.
who take care of their content, take care of good, and they do $100 budget, you do a $10 budget. That $10 budget will work against the $100 budget.
Yep.
As long as it's good, it looks fine, it looks creative, and in the case it will sell, but they have to have the confidence and the right tools to create it.
Yep. I agree. So what's next for Onixx Media? Where are you going? Where are you going to be in a year from now?
From a year from now?
Yeah.
Well, I'm really, one of the achievements, I'm really happy to have like loyal clients. Like my clients combined right now, I'm glad to say that I did close to $500,000 in sales in 1 year. That for me is a huge achievement. One of my clients reached already like 10 million reach, all organic, because we just implemented, we created the strategy. The ads didn't work with this client. It just went organic. I was really impressed. Right now she reached 19 million.
Wow.
So what's next for me is to bring that kind of experience and to get the people, to get the clients to do it. The best practice is to put it out there. Within a year, I would like to have like a really big company client to bring them to the next level. Like
wow.
I'm pushing to have like a big company where I can take their sales and bring it to another level, because so far everything I catch, even if they don't continue with me, I still see my work implemented, which is amazing, because I focus on branding and I focus on the core best practices, and I see my work still over there. That for me is a huge achievement too.
Well, that's great.
This is what I see myself in 1 year. And 3-4 years, I want to retire. Like I want to do financial and retire. So I'm pushing over there to delegate to do. But if I retire early, I can enjoy it. But I can open another business. Why not? A different venture.
Yeah, that's the action coach. The action coach philosophy is, an entrepreneur's job is to finish the business and either sell it or give it to someone else to run, and then to do it again. Right?
Yeah.
Take everything you learned and do it again.
you need a new passion. Like my passion is marketing right now. And at one point, as much as I love the job, you know, sometimes I wish if I have an employee, to be honest with you. Just to not to work, like to be just like, yeah, get the job, get it done. But no, it's with the leadership, with everything, with my talent, I cannot think that way, even though I wish it, but I can bring a lot to my team, to the leader, to the team, to the company, to the client. I can bring a lot, and I see that I see it's important to me to put it out there.
I love it. I love it. Well, Amero, this has been a great conversation. I can't wait maybe to come back in a year and take a look at what you've accomplished in this year. I wish you all the best for 2025, and I'm looking forward to seeing more Onixx Media projects.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you inviting me to your show. Thanks.
Take care.